here's the start of my interview. The first question: you were best known for your work on Power Rangers S.p.D, but have you been involved in any other shows or movies? Yeah, before S.p.D, I did a lot of different Canadian television. There were a couple like movies of the week and commercials that played in the States and internationally. But for the most part, unless you were in Canada, you probably would have missed some of my appearances on early television series. There was one that was really cool. It was, I guess it was like bridge training. It was called Spynet, and it was a group of three spies that had a little camera implanted in their eye that they could report back what they were seeing to their boss, who would then kind of talk to them and tell them what to do. And everyone had their own skill set. And my character's name was Cypher, and he always had this like kind of computer bag and gadgets and gizmos, and he was the kind of the most brainy out of everybody, but brainy in his own kind of idiosyncratic way. And then I got to audition for Bridge. Same sort of guy. So if anyone can find episodes of Spynet and put them online, I'd love to see them again, and I bet you guys would get a kick out of it too. You've showed some martial arts skill. What is your background? I've shown some martial arts skill. Come on, not like Chris as the Blue Ranger, you know. When I auditioned, you were asked to either show some martial arts skill or to show that you could move. They just wanted to see that you had the basic fundamentals of rhythm and movement and could sell choreographed fighting moves. And what I did was I breakdanced horribly because I can't breakdance. But I guess they saw some sort of movement type lyrical poetry in my body. And when we went to do training before we shot, we all did like a month of fighting boot camp. And that was probably my favorite part of the whole Power Ranger experience, actually, was getting to train with some of the top kind of Japanese stunt performers kind of in the world. And that was very cool. But I could still probably get my ass kicked in a fight. I see that you've been accepted to a film. Can you please tell us more about it? Yes. There are two really big international schools in Canada for studying film. One of them is called the Canadian Film Centre, and the other one is called the National Screen Institute. And I got into the National Screen Institute with a script that I had submitted called One Day You Will Paint a Sunset. One Day You Will Paint a Sunset is kind of about a 30-year-old, shy, dorky, gangly dude that works the shoe counter in a bowling center, in a bowlorama. And there's this hot girl that's been coming in for about a month. And he desperately wants to talk to her, but he thinks that, you know, she'll never notice a guy like him. And then one day, there's something stuck in the pins, and that's his job. He does the shoe canter, but you know, I don't know if you've been bowling. I'm sure you have. Usually, everyone does multiple jobs, and he gets called to clear up the pin setter, the thing that rakes the pins and sets them up, is not working. There's something jammed in it, and he goes to the back room to check it out. And there's a whole bunch of crap back there, and then there's this book. It's a kid's book. But the things that the kid's book say in it are kind of telling him how to get this hot girl. And that's what the film is about. And through the institute that I'm going to, you get a whole bunch of different support services. You get help with equipment and post-production stuff. But you're kind of on your own into raising the funds that you have to pay people. I mean, you have to pay people if you want a quality product. And right now we're a little short in paying our crew and our cast what they should be paid for the kind of people that we're after. So there's a Indiegogo, which is kind of like a Kickstarter if you've ever seen that. It's called the crowdsource funding. It just basically calls out to my friends and fans on the internet to kind of make as much a donation or as little a donation as you can, and to help raise funds for my film. And in exchange, there's some cool perks. If you give $100, you can mail me your favorite banner, your favorite ring. I'll put it somewhere in the background. Plus, you'll get a copy of the film and signed merchandise and things like that. And to any of my Power Ranger fans, I have my original, authentic Power Ranger spandex outfit, costume, whatever you call it, that I am going to put people in a raffle for. And then I'll pull their name, and then you own a piece of Power Ranger history. Do you stay in contact with any of your co-stars? There's a few people I stay in contact with. One of them is Bruce Kalish. Bruce Kalish has been an amazing mentor of mine, and now that I've gone into more of a career in directing, he actually hired me on for a new show of his, which is a really awesome new show called Mud Pit, which is about a bunch of teenagers that are in a band, and they kind of are not so good in the real world, but there's this virtual world where they play in. It's kind of like real life meets Guitar Hero, where they have these real lives as these kind of superstar musicians. And I directed 3 episodes of this new show. It's called Mud Pit, and it's coming out in the next 6 to 8 months. I don't know, but watch for it. It's going to be awesome. So other than Bruce, I keep in touch with Greg Aronowitz all the time. And then as far as cast members go, Brandon J. McLaren, who is taking off hardcore. I always knew he would because he's amazing. He's in Toronto right now. He's in the series called The Killing on AMC, and he's in town right now. And this week, maybe even today, I'm supposed to get together for lunch with him, and we're definitely going to work together on some sort of project. And maybe I'll even return to the other side of camera for that too. What are some of my hobbies? What are some of my hobbies? Well, right now I have a 2.5-year-old little girl, so she takes up a lot of my time, and she's amazing. So I draw with her, I build Legos with her. I just got my bike fixed up, so we're gonna go out on bike rides. She's a big hobby of mine. Filmmaking, is my career, but it's also kind of my hobby, and music. I don't know if there's a keyboard behind me, but I also write a lot of music for the show that I'm directing right now. It's called The Right Hand. It's for a mature audience. It's funny. It's about the porn industry. You can check it out at www.ewlmedia.com. I'm writing some of the music for that as well. So it's not something I'm actively pursuing, being a musician or writing music for movies or TV, but it's something I love to do, and I love writing music and lyrics and playing for people. What are your plans for the future? Well, for the future, I've got my eyes focused and my heart centered on making One Day You Will Paint a Sunset, my National Screen Institute film. And by 2012, I should have a feature film in development to direct. And, you never know when those acting opportunities are going to come up too, and I'll always grab them. But my ambitions for the future are to become a director that people talk about and go to see his films.